Have you ever wanted to frolic in a medieval world of magic, intrigue, and massive battles? Have you ever thought that you would make an excellent ruler? And have you ever wanted to fix the season finale of Game of Thrones? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're in the right place, as today I'll be diving into Crusader Kings 3 with the Game of Thrones mod to see if I can save them all and defeat the White Walkers. But I won't just be playing the game normally. I shall be enlisting the help of one of my most powerful, broken, and beloved characters. Say hello again to Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙍, known for transversing dimensions, being a god, and killing people with just a fork. As always, I'll be exploiting the games I'm playing, however, I wanted to truly challenge myself. This run is developer approved, Iron Man and achievement compatible, meaning it's all perfectly legitimate. Okay, I've created our character here. He looks perfectly fine and normal for human beings. Yes, this is fine. Now we just need to design him. Of course, there is the caveat to remember that in this game, you're only allowed 400 customization points to work with. Anything more than that and the game classifies you as being completely illegal. There's just one issue. I can't be stopped. So we're going to create our glorious Reanu. He's going to be brave, lustful, and authoritative. Yes, he's great. But let's not forget, he's humble. After all, he's just a nice chappy. Then we need to throw in some other traits, like making him an aspiring blade master, gallant, a seducer, athletic, but also, let's not forget, he's staggeringly beautiful, a genius, Herculean in strength, very fecund, and strong, yes. And finally, we're also going to make him a berserker. Perfect. And the final trait we're going to throw in here for good measure, immortal. Yep, this costs us 10,000 points. After that, we're going to crank up all of the stats possible to give him 100 in absolutely everything. Now, an average skill in this game would sit around 10, good starts from around about 13, and excellent is anything above 17, meaning that any skill checks that happen in this game, we have an ungodly advantage. Now, of course, this character is quite simply too overpowered, so the game's going to say, hey, no achievements available, this guy is simply too good to be allowed in the game. I completely get it. There's just one issue. We can have Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙍 in the game by simply knocking him off of his spawn location. If instead we create our own ruler and just make generic boring man, who has terrible stats in every regard, then great news. What ends up happening is Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, who we created to be the lord of this land, is instead kicked off of the throne and rendered into the world as just a traveling gentleman. This means we can now create our own adventurer, who is quite simply the female version of Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 It's now Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀. Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 has one purpose in life, to simply seduce the real Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀. So we're going to make her lustful, a seducer, beautiful, we'll make her comely, and give her a little bit of extra diplomacy. The rest of her stats, we can crank them down to the bottom. They really don't matter. There's just a few other traits we need to grab. Melancholic and infirm. Basically, our character is depressed and close to death. An absolutely ideal setup for us. We're also going to make her 50 years old, giving us even more points to make her truly beautiful. So here she is, our perfect character, Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, a lustful mirror of our Reanu. However, she is unfortunately set to die very quickly, as that is her one purpose. So we've created her as a brand new, unlanded character at the age of 50. As you can see, because we didn't go over the 400 point mark, Iron Man mode is enabled and achievements are currently allowed. That's right, this character right here is a perfectly legitimate starting point for the game. So we're going to spawn into the world, and this is where we begin, in the bottom right corner of the map at Triarch's Fall. We begin with 96 gold to our name, terrible stats, and close to death. But we also start with one magical bit of information. We know about the greatest being alive, Reanu 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 100. And he is actually here in this world, located exactly in this same province. And what we can do is romance him. That's right, it's going to take 14 months, but we can start the process of romancing this gentleman. Now, we only have one ability, and that is pure unbridled seduction. We're beautiful, and there is no way that this perfect 18-year-old will resist our charms. So let's secretly plant a letter in his chambers. He won't be able to resist my charms for long, yes. So yes, in 13 months this scheme should finish, and we have a 95% chance of successfully seducing him. Now, starting out as an unlanded character is really quite difficult. We have no way of getting money and we have no permanent holdings. All we have is this camp which has absolutely nothing inside of it. We also have the additional currency of food in the form of provisions. They're the main way we actually move around the map. Now whilst we're trying to flirt with him and convince him of our love, Reanu wants us to slay a wolf and bring him its pelt. So I mean, we could try and do that, or alternatively, because I have a good amount of intrigue, I'm instead going to go to the local kennel and just slay a mutty looking dog, and hopefully he doesn't see through it. He saw through my trickery. No! Well, luckily we're still a master seducer, so we'll have him yet. Okay, Reanu Keeves now wants me to prove my love by not eating anything and simply sustaining myself on the power of his love. Fine, my devotion will carry me through. This will make me slightly starved for 2 years, but that's fine. It's all in the name of love. It feels a little bit toxic now, Reanu. Now, of course, the main threat that we are dealing with are the White Walkers. However, you might notice they're not actually on the map yet. This is because they canonically haven't started. They should start spawning in roughly from the year 300, so we have approximately 15 years to get ourselves ready. But now is the time to make our first move. We're going to step forwards and declare our undying love to Reanu. And it's worked. In the heat of the moment, I will propose marriage, and we shall become soulmates. It's fantastic. And with that, he has now joined us in our camp, because he is technically my husband, and I can now designate him to be my successor. Yes, that's right, Reanu Keeves is now my heir and my second in command, which is perfect. There's just one issue for poor Reanu here. I've now set up the game in a way where I have a horrifically overpowered character who breaks everything, and Fianu, who is close to death and hates everything. By having this now horrifically overpowered character alive and designated as my successor, I'm going to press this button here. My time has come. Right, let's find a tea brewed on a lethal plant. Let's go. All right, fantastic. I've made myself some tea. However, Reanu Keeves comes rushing in saying, Fianu Keeves, don't do it, mother wife. I guess, he's classed as my child because I've designated him my heir, which makes him my son husband, which I guess is a term you will only hear in Crusader Kings, but it's fine. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Apparently my plans were foiled. No, I live. Really? I lived? Are you mad? Okay, I'm just going to move the camp into these hills, and by doing that, we should gain chances of really bad stuff happening. Perfect, fantastic. I'm traveling along, and a negative event is fired, and there's a 50% chance that I die. This is exactly what I want. At the very least, we're going to have a mental break from stress, which will negatively impact my health. Yes, good. All right, we've almost run out of food, so I'm hoping if I keep moving back and forth, an event will fire because I no longer have any food. All right, here we go. We will now be out of food. Yes, this is it. Perfect. Okay, I managed to get attacked by bandits, which ended up with Fianu getting wounded, and now apparently I see the light. Yes, I've got a 14% that I starve to death, 14% chance that my stomach is damaged, my strength leaves me, I get sick, something in my mind breaks, or the light disappears from my eyes. Either way, it's a mental breakdown time. Damn it, I got lunatic. I want to die. Please. Yes, I've died. Yes. Okay, perfect. It only took us 2 years, but it worked. So, unfortunately, Mistress Fianu died of her wounds. However, this now means we get to play as our heir, the real main character of this story, Reanu Keeves. Right, we're going to focus Reanu immediately on valor and leading people, and we're going to make him a stalwart leader. Yes, we're going to look extra fancy. And when it comes to our camp purpose, we're going to become swords for hire, and we're going to build ourselves a team fully focused on conquering the world. Right, our new chapter can now begin with the glorious Reanu Keeves in control. We start out with 435 gold. However, our camp consists of absolutely no one. We have no friends, we have no followers, and we need all of these things. So we're going to visit the local castle holding and see if we can find ourselves some assistants. Let's go to the local barracks and see if we can find some useful skilled fighters. We have Viserys, who is malnourished, and Garros, who is absolutely terrible at prowess. Why are both of you in a garrison? You're terrible fighters. My god. I mean, Viserys is the only relatively decent one, but he costs 225 gold, so on second thought, no. Let's go to the tavern and see if we can recruit someone. Okay, we can recruit one person. Emeria here. She is a 78-year-old wise woman who is deceitful, but we can have her for free, whereas everyone else wants to cost money. Oh, to be fair, Amello here at 44 years old is actually pretty good. He's strong. Right, we're going to spend a huge amount of money to get him, and we'll leave the incredibly old woman behind. Now, of course, I am ever so slightly haunted by the shadow of my beloved mother, slash wife, but It's fine. We'll manage. Life will find a way. And in the meantime, we'll fill ourselves with some work by working for this steward and doing a passage of arms. Basically a nice little show of force. And we can appoint my brand new captain as our caravan master to help all of our travel. And let's begin. Oh my goodness, this is going to require agents. We don't have agents. Fine. This will be fine. But yes, we currently are working with just a single person in our camp. It is literally just us and a mellow here. And that's fine. It's okay. We got one friend. We're going to struggle to complete any missions, but a friend is a friend. I suppose with the leftover money I have, I should also upgrade our camp. And I'm going to choose to construct the baggage train, which improves our abilities of scouting for talent, letting us pick up new companions for our party, which we definitely need. And one has actually wandered over to us. It's 𝘼𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙍. He looks like an utter goblin. What the heck? Well, he is currently malnourished, but we do need another blade. So we'll welcome him into our camp, give him a sword, and get him to help out with our current mission. There we go. With him as a lookout, 𝘼𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙍 as the muscle, and 𝘼𝙀𝙀𝾿𝙍 acting as the brains, we too will eventually be able to, presumably, stop some bandits. Let's execute this scheme with confidence. Bam! It was a failure. No! Oh, beans. We lose some prestige and we're kicked out of that area. They don't want to deal with us. Now, let's see if we can recruit some people. We can. We found a singular gentleman. We have a choice between 2 old ladies and 𝘿𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙀𝙀 here, who looks great. He's pretty bad. He's an incompetent commander. Sir, join me. You'll do great. Alright, so for the time being, we're mostly bouncing around, doing various transportation contracts for the locals, making a bit of extra cash. Right, we'll execute this scheme for the local lord, gaining ourselves some provisions in the process, and now with all of our extra money lying around, I think we should probably buy ourselves a knighthood. So huzzah, we have now become a knight. It's great. Now, another important thing we can do is to host a camp revelry, a useful and lovely thing because it gives us the opportunity to attract people to our camp, as well as helping us befriend some of our party members. Yes, it costs us 115 gold, but provided we host a good party, we get a lot of free food, some extra contracts, and free upgrades. So we're gonna host a glorious party, which lasts 3 entire months. Yep, that's just how long medieval parties lasted. Immediately, I'm going to become close friends with Vassario. Lord Ravello, who we invited, has become hungover, and that's going to last for an entire year, so that's one hell of a beverage we brewed up, and we've now achieved a jubilant level of revelry. Great party, honestly. What a wonderful bit of revelry. We get a huge amount of experience, a free upgrade, loads of food, everyone is satisfied. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now at the stage of the game where we have just 9 years remaining until the terrifying White Walkers arrive. So what we're doing right now is actually starting to build up our army. Yes, if we're going to be able to actually take on the terrifying threat of the White Walkers, we need a large amount of trained soldiers. So I've hired myself 1 battalion of light footmen and a battalion of crossbowmen. They cost us gold to buy, but they only require food to maintain. So yes, moving a larger and larger army across the map does get more expensive as time goes on, but we can use this army to make lots of money. For example, we could come down south here and join in this civil war. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually pledge to support Prince 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 here in his civil war against Magister 𝘼𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀. Now, the Magister only has 385 soldiers left, so this is basically a done deal. The war is effectively over, but that doesn't mean we can't make some good money. To assist with this process, I'm going to hire myself some more crossbowmen and a squad of Dragon Guard heavy infantry. Then we'll spend some of our lovely provisions to fill these squads up to maximum size, and now we have an army of 349 men. Right, let's join into this war. We'll get some gold immediately as soon as this war is done, but most importantly, I can raise up my glorious army and march off to war and assist with the occupation of the enemy lands. Okay, I don't have enough men to do any sieges, but luckily what I can do is chase down this stack of 416 men and do battle with them. So in we hop. They have 270 men, mostly consisting of low quality units. Meanwhile, on our side, we're led by Reanu the Wolfslayer, whose insane martial skill gives us a combat advantage of 100 415. As you can imagine, that's pretty good. So we're going to initiate the first roll of combat, where only one of our forces were routed and scared, meanwhile 193 of theirs were. It was fantastic, and in the battle, Anello here, my sworn shield, who's a lunatic, did a good job, so why not? We'll knight him, which will make him slightly better at combat. Perfect. So we actually helped out with the war, and that's a glorious victory, meaning we got paid some nice money, we got some prestige, and all is right in the world. Oh, we have also had our first super major deviation from Game of Thrones canon, which is that Paramount Balon Greyjoy of the Iron Islands is dead. Now, canonically, he's meant to have a little bit of a civil war where he goes mad and attacks the Iron Throne, losing several of his sons in the process. That hasn't happened because instead, Lord Balon Greyjoy died from a heart attack after eating too much dessert. Now, if that isn't one hell of a way to go, I don't know what is. And oh dear, something terrible has happened. A succession on the Iron Throne. Robert Baratheon is dead? What happened to him? Was slain in a duel by Paramount Roderick of the Iron Islands. What? Oh god. This is all because his dad died of eating pudding, isn't it? Oh, the timeline is all ruined now. This is madness. Okay, so this now means that King Joffrey Baratheon, who is the incestuous spawn of Cersei and her brother, has now been declared the king of the Iron Throne. Now, of course, inheriting the Iron Throne at age 5, probably it's going to mess you up a bit. It's going to mess you up even more so when you realize that in 9 years' time, the entire world might end. Right, I'm going to move my entire force now down south, back to Tyrosh and Lys, because it's looking like there's a lot of conflict happening over here, and that's money. Oh, we've got an exciting conflict we can actually join in on. Salladhor Saan, an actual character in Game of Thrones, is trying to invade the lovely Tiger's Island here, and the local pirates here want our help. So, you know what? Seeing as they're on the back foot, we'll take the contract. So we'll pledge ourselves to help out. We'll request 2 men-at-arms regiments from the locals, bringing our total standing up to 590 men. Alright, so with that, we can now raise up all of our men and get ready for a nice bit of combat. So in we arrive, and here's the enemy army, all 471 men of this pirate band. Unfortunately for them, I have arrived, and their measly stack of 476 men, well, it's just not going to stand up to ours. Yes, I'm sorry, you pirates, but I am the glorious Reanu Keeves, and we fought exceedingly well. In total, we lost 0 men to their 470 casualties. That is insane. And in order to celebrate, we shall knight Doran for his fearless work on the battlefield. Well done, everyone. Alright, back to the capital to get this siege won. Alright, and there we go. We've completed the war. We've occupied the pirate stronghold, and in return, we get paid 147 gold. Now, that's what I like to see. Great stuff. No casualties, big payout, everyone's happy. Oh no, a wolf has crept into our camp, but this gives us a great opportunity to change the nickname of Reanu Keeves, who currently is the Lecher. That's not exactly a great one. Instead, we're going to try and slay the wolf and get the Wolfslayer. Yes, that's significantly better. My god. No, we should also take a wife. Why not? We'll have Neria here. She's beautiful, so that's pretty good. Chance of children high. What's this? Lord Peter Baelish has a construction job he wants done over here in the middle of nowhere. Well, you know what? Now seems like a good a time as any to actually move on over to the Seven Kingdoms. So with 5 years to go until the end of the world, let's make the grand trip across the seas. Okay, we've arrived, but unfortunately because it took us so long, the job has changed, and now Peter Baelish wants me to train up some knights for him. So why not? I imagine that's something we should be quite apt at. Let me see all of these men you want trained. All right, let's improve this kettleback, sir. All right, we train him correctly. For the next guy, we'll make him a flexible leader, and hopefully that works. And then finally, we will teach the last gentleman how to be an open terrain expert. And that is perfect. We absolutely smashed that contract. All right, we've had a rather successful time working for Peter Baelish, but we should move inland towards the capital of the Vale with hopes that we get our hands on some better contracts. But along the way, we find Domus Moon Tower. My goodness, look at this absolute unit of a gentleman. I could hire him and his army, or alternatively, I could hire him directly. And I want him. He'll be a great sworn shield captain. Oh wow, my wife is pregnant. Yay, this is great. How exciting. All right, we're going to move ourselves over to the capital. Now, when it comes to our actual army, we're up to having 1,000 men of elite quality already. Our crossbowmen especially are looking nice and dangerous. But it's not just that. Our captain's effectiveness is up to 433. And what's this? My son and an heir. He's an intelligent, beautiful boy. You shall be Dave. Yes, may you grow to be strong and wise. Oh, Aegon the Conqueror, come again. Oh, this is very exciting. So Prince Aegon is a character who you won't recognize from the TV show because they just cut him out entirely. But he's in the books and he has just declared war on Joffrey. Yep, that's right. It's the war for the Iron Throne. Aegon is being supported by the Reach and also Eddard Stark of the North. What? He's rebelling? Why? Okay, this is insane. Okay, so the Seven Kingdoms have immediately erupted into pure madness, as it's basically the Baratheons and the Lannisters teaming up against everyone else to fight off this new threat. How very exciting. This is great. This is a huge war, by the way. It's 300,000 men versus 100,000. Now, what with the hundreds of thousands of men involved, I think it's probably best we don't throw our hat in the ring, and instead we'll continue bumbling around doing contracts, trying to get a little bit of prestige, so that way we can be ready for when the time comes. Oh, and here it is. The winds of winter are here. On the 2nd of the 5th moon, 299, the long night has begun. Something strange is afoot in the north. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of the end. The others, otherwise known as the White Walkers, are here, led by the absolutely insane Night King. He is an exalted warlord, a genius, a giant, and practically immortal because of the fact that he is one of the others. Similar to us, he has 100 prowess, and he even has 100 intrigue. The man is insane. Upon arriving in the north, he is going to start gobbling up and destroying all of the lovely little wildling armies that we see up here. There's just one issue. His culture is very strange. He's got ever-growing armies. Basically, if he kills enemies, the enemies come back and they work for him instead. It's a very dangerous situation to be in, so we need to get ourselves ready for this. We got an opportunity to get involved in an actual proper big war. Right, we're going to try and do it. This will be very exciting. I think we could do with a few more men, so I'll just grab a couple extra crossbowmen and spear boys, but I think we should join in this glorious, exciting war. Let's take the contract. All we have to do is defeat this stack of 5,900 men, which contains 1,000 reavers. Oh my goodness, sorry, what are those stats? 158 damage. What the heck? Okay, the heavy infantry. We need to basically increase our men who can counter heavy infantry. So that means more crossbowmen. Let's go. It's the only way. But still, I feel confident in our glorious leader's ability to do battle. So we're going to sail our way on over and hopefully we can assist in this glorious war. All right, I'm going to wait for the disembarked penalty to leave us alone. Okay, and with it now gone, we're going to attack the first army of Greygarden. Here we go. This is our first proper war. We have a good advantage. The enemy reavers are only doing 10% of their damage because we've countered them so heavily with crossbowmen. Yes, it's a glorious victory. Crossbowmen for the win. Meanwhile, if we check up north, the Night King has now got 100,000 men as he has conquered all of the fens. The fens are now gone. All that remains is a massive stack of undead nightmares. Great. So here we go. The succession of the Iron Throne. Aegon VI, the Conqueror, has arrived and thrown Joffrey Baratheon into prison, alongside Tywin Lannister and Renly Baratheon. Oh no. Oh, this has gone terribly wrong. Okay, so Aegon the Conqueror, who has just taken control of the Iron Throne, has now also announced that Jon Snow isn't a bastard and is in fact his sibling. But across the seas, the Targaryens in exile have done something utterly mad. Prince Viserys, the absolute lunatic, has managed to somehow summon 3 dragons into existence. I know, this is madness. The man has 3 dragons. Okay, great. So Viserys is back, and who knows what he's gonna do, because technically he has a claim on the Iron Throne, so that's not a good sign for everyone, but then again, he could choose to be a pretty chill dude and use his mighty dragon power to defeat the nightmarish White Walkers. You never know. And there we go. Fantastic. My glory is now widely known after completing that contract. Everything is going well, and we shall now become a knight errant, giving us more prestige and making us a true bastion of knighthood. And what's this? A nice fancy artifact. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, this is fantastic. Right, let's pop on our brand new glorious golden coat. It's going to be so swanky and cool. Yes, this is nice. And the Targaryens have now returned. They intend to reclaim the Iron Throne from Aegon the Conqueror. Oh dear. So we're going to have another Targaryen civil war is about to kick off. This is literally a massive civil war for everything. Oh no. Oh dear. Great. So because dragons are back in the world, something terrifying has happened. The Night King has been able to summon an ice dragon. Yeah, he has a nightmarish ice dragon. That's his. Yeah. Great. So in order to kill the Night King now, we also have to kill a dragon. Oh, God. Humanity is so doomed. Right. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A few things have transpired in that Joffrey Baratheon is dead. Yes, he died in captivity of consumption, but things are also looking pretty bad. To the north, the White Walkers have almost finished mopping up what's left of the Free Folk, and so I think it's important to assemble a squad who are ready to do what's necessary. And so I'm going to offer to do some knightly tutelage for Lord Eddard Stark. That's right, I'm going to say that yes, I will train Robb Stark to become a knight. So I'm going to offer this service, and he is of course going to accept and hand over his son. This gives me one extra person who can fight for me, which is very useful. Alright, so there we go. Robb Stark is now my squire. I can train him a little bit. I can train him on swordsmanship. Let's go. It went very well. So this is all quite good. I really think I need to actually start heading up north now in order to start slowing down the Night King to the best of my ability, because otherwise we're going to have a very rough time. Alright, so it's time for us to make our way up north, with a quick stop off at the Iron Islands on the way. Oh, what's this? New commander of the wall. Oh, it's 𝘿𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙀𝙍. There we go. We've actually kind of synced up with something that's real in the TV show. He's in control of the Night's Watch, and literally the day after that, immediately the Night King has declared war on him. Okay, yep, this is pretty rough. He has a grand total of 6,000 soldiers up against 100,000. Oh dear, dear, dear. We definitely need to rapidly get up there and try and save the day. Okay, well, this war against the Night's Watch is clearly not going very well. They already have 95% war score and have successfully occupied Castle Black. That's pretty bad considering the advantage for holding this territory is like plus 70, and that's it. The war's over. The Night King has literally defeated the Night's Watch in the span of a few minutes. Oh god. This isn't a good sign at all. Alright, and fantastic. We've made it to the north. Now, the Night King's probably going to spend a little bit more time mopping up some of the free peoples up here, so we're going to use this opportunity to help the north train some of their knights. There we go. That seems like a positive thing to do, given the potential madness that's about to happen. Okay, I've invested an insane amount of money into my soldiers, but technically we can now wield almost 4,000 men, which will be very good and hopefully quite important. Although the Night King has got 100,000, including a singular tamed dragon. Oh dear, how's the civil war going on down here? Can you guys please wrap up this civil war? There is quite a dangerous thing going on. Hang on a second, this is utterly hilarious. Okay, so I decided to check in on the Dreadfort, where, you know, the slightly evil Boltons of Game of Thrones live, and it turns out Roose Bolton died in a trial of combat. Great, killed by this random guy, and Ramsay Snow was sacrificed to the Night King. Which, you know, I feel like that's quite a nice comeuppance for him. Very good indeed. Oh my goodness. And apparently the Night's Watch have actually managed to reform their ranks and are trying to mount a rebellion against the Night King. You know what, 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, now's our chance to actually help you. So that's what we're going to try and do. I'm going to visit the castle holding and recruit some Northmen to assist us. And because we are now the ultimate knight errant, we can fully replenish all of our men-at-arms. And actually, you know what, let's expand them even more. I think we need even more dragon knights. Perfect. And a few more light footmen. Fantastic. And let's refill those stocks, and we have 4,000 men. Perfect. This is it. Okay, right, 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, if you're still fighting, there's still a chance. So let me offer you some military assistance, and you will give me 153 gold. Let's go. All right, raise those armies. Let's go fight the end of the world. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go, but the Night King has actually split up his forces, so it's not like we have zero chance at all. In fact, they've successfully managed to retake Castle Black, which is quite nice. Alright, so I'm going to wait for the Night King to move his forces away, and now we're going to hunt them down. Let's go. Okay, so they have their ice spiders, but we have all of our other soldiers that are doing pretty good. They're a bit upset because they're fighting in bad terrain, because this is forested nonsense, but it's okay, for we still have a glorious advantage. First round of combat, we rout thousands and thousands, and we get to Knight Sir Lorien. Well done, sir. You fought valiantly. We successfully slayed 6,000 of the enemy and lost only 2. And it's looking like because of that, we've successfully managed to help the Night's Watch be liberated. That's 100% war score. Oh my goodness, we're doing it. So there we go. Scouring of the wall complete. Wait, hang on a second. Tormund Giantsbane has successfully managed to unify most of the north in a rebellion against the Night King. This is madness. He's even got support coming in from the Reach. What is going on here? Oh, this is fantastic. This is the true Game of Thrones story, where actually, yes, some of the world does unify to stop the bad guys. Oh, they are coming to attack us again. Okay, they might actually chase me down here. No, unless. Can we actually attack them? We'll get the defense bonuses. Okay, I think this is worthwhile. Let's go. We're going to actually try and do a battle here. Right, so the Battle of 𝘿𝙀𝙀, which I thought was going to be a potential victory, has unfortunately crumbled into catastrophic defeat. Quite simply, the Night King has arrived, and because he has a dragon that provides medium dragon support, he receives a +100 to all of his battle rolls, which, that's impossible. Alright, I'm back. I've refilled my cup of tea, and I am watching as the Night King slowly ganders around with his stack of 80,000 men, just blitzing the entire world. Now, the thing is, provided we don't directly face him, we should be fine. The Night King himself is located in this stack here, so provided we avoid them, we're all good. Okay, there's a big stack of Night King forces right here, actually. I'm going to actually try and fight them, because the main Night King force is way over here and not going to get involved in time. So we actually can have a fight where we should, despite being outnumbered nearly 10 to 1, I think this should still be a good opportunity, especially for our Knights of the Dragon to actually rack up some kills. Yes, look at them go. Now we get the pursuit phase as well. We capture a huge amount of the others. Come on, we got to finish off this battle and then quickly retreat. And we get to Night Pharaoh as well. Right, pull out of there, get back to the Castle Black. So we evaporated 40,000 of the enemy men, gained 4,000 prestige, 1,200 gold. My goodness. Okay, these battles pay well. All right, max out the size of the footman stack, max out the crossbowmen, max out the Knights of the Dragon. Okay, we're just gonna max out everything. The biggest possible army we could field. It's gonna be utter madness, but hey, if we've got any chance of winning here, it's going to require this ridiculously sized army. So let's quickly scrape the barrel, grab as many additional forces as possible. Oh, succession of the Iron Throne has happened. King Viserys III, the father of dragons, the mental man who had a golden crown poured on his head, has actually managed it. He's captured his, I think, cousin or uncle and thrown him in jail, and is now sits atop the throne. So there's a very real chance here that this gentleman will actually choose to join in the Long Night and ride up with his dragons, which if that happens, well, things will be looking pretty good. Okay, well, basically, the Night King is now marching in against a stack of 30,000 men with his 12,000. So there's a chance he could lose here, but there's also a chance he could summon his massive dragon of death and kill everyone. I'm going to try and cut off the reinforcements, but that's not going to happen. So here we have it, the Night King versus 𝘿𝙀𝙑𝙀𝙍 Karstark here. Well, 𝘿𝙀𝙀, I'm going to hop in and supersede command, as I believe I have slightly more skill when it comes to this. So in we arrive. He's immediately using his dragon support. Our captain has had his head ripped off. That's not a good sign. All right, and the fight is happening. It is not looking good. I've lost my chief cook. There's a lot of captains getting maimed here. However, it's okay. It's okay. They've lost their dragon support. Their dragon's gone off to have a little nap, and with that, we get a few rounds of good combat. Unfortunately, the dragon has now come back, so that kind of evens the playing fields a bit. Right, after using the money I made squashing peasants, I was able to hire an additional 1,000 mercenary giants to reinforce us and just charge straight in. And with that, it's looking like we just ever so slightly might have the edge in the battlefield, despite the fact that intermittently a massive dragon is flown in by the Night King. And yes, it is looking like a glorious success on the battlefield today. We did it. 19,000 men on our side died, 22,000 on theirs. It was insane. Well, there we go. That actually went okay. I mean, I say okay. An insane amount of people have technically just died, but provided you ignore most of that, it all kind of managed to mangle itself into an acceptable state. All right, so we've successfully resupplied the men, and back off into the wintry nights we go to slay more of these random White Walker stacks. But up north, yes, 𝘿𝙀𝙀𝙀 Mormont is deciding to fight the Night King by himself. Oh, he does have Scorpion aerial coverage. That allows him to mitigate the power of the dragon. We should definitely have that. That's incredibly useful. Why don't I have scorpions? Okay, I'll just have to hope that someone else brought the scorpions on whatever day where I do all the fighting. All right, here we are, gloriously fighting away. We've got our scorpions providing the aerial coverage. Consequently, that means his dragon is limited. Yes, this is looking good. Oh, we are now turning the tide against the Night King. 30,000 casualties on our side, 14,000 on theirs. And my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 years of near continuous fighting against the Night King, 9 years after his arrival, we've just sieged down this province, giving us the final bit of war score in the necessary fight against the Long Night. And with this, there's a chance that Tormund Giantsbane, the leader of this war, will now sue for peace. And there we go. That is peace. Tormund Giantsbane of Warris's Bay has managed to gain independence from the Night King. We had the greatest war contribution at 47%, meaning Tormund now really likes us. However, technically, the Night King is not dead. He is still active. He has just been made weaker than ever, with only 7,000 men. And I'll tell you what, we're going to actually try and murder him. I'm going to move my camp up north. Oh my goodness, what's this? Oh, we ran out of food. Oh dear, there's a chance I could die here. No, we're all good. We're all good. Stay still. Stay still. Good stuff. All right, let's quickly gather some provisions whilst we're in the absolute freezing cold. Wait, hang on, am I blind? Oh no. I've gone blind from starving in the north, haven't I? Yep, completely blind now. Great. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, okay. The Night King personally has it out for us, and I think is trying to murder me. It definitely seems like, yeah, they're actively trying to track me down and murder me. Yeah, he's really getting a bit angry, but we can't initiate a murder scheme against him because we're just too far away. We need to gather more food, climb up the coastline. All right, we're going to buy as many provisions as we can. Okay, right, so with enough food now purchased, I'm hoping that I can get closer to the Night King's insane land, but it's looking quite challenging. It costs so much food just to get close. Just going to keep slowly moving our armies up the coastline, one tiny province at a time, trying not to run out of food again so that way I don't lose more eyes. Oh my goodness, this is it actually. This is the final war. The War for Dawn has been started 44 days ago by Lord Theo Trembling Fisher of the Fisher House of Stony Shore. Just this random northern household is leading the war against the Night King. And if they actually manage to win this and enforce their demands, the Night King is killed by Lord Theo the Trembling. Yes, this seemingly cowardly, delicate gentleman is humanity's champion. My goodness. Wow, good for him. You know what? That's great. Well, seeing as I'm able to now actually get a new men-at-arms regiment, I'm going to grab some lovely scorpions. Yes, there we go. Scorpions will save the day. Hopefully, presumably. Goodness, we have absolutely no provisions at all. Oh, succession on the Iron Throne. What? Oh dear. Aegon the Conqueror was just killed by Balman Forest. Some random guy. He's just some bloke. Great, so now Tommen Baratheon is the king. Wow, the unexpected directions we've been taking. Truly, one of the plot lines. We are quite low on provisions, but it's okay. We made it to the capital of the Night King. Alright, so now that we're inside of his realm, yes, we can initiate the murder scheme. Yes, very good. It's going to be very hard and very challenging, but I think we've got a good chance. Yes, a 95% chance of quite simply murdering him. And of course, other people want to join in and help, including one White Walker herself. Great. I don't know how she's decided to sign up, but who could forget the legendary assassin Jorah Mormont, leader of the Night's Watch. Come on over, sir. You're going to do great things. Oh, dear. This is insane. So we've got a bunch of wildlings and the Night's Watch ready to try and assassinate him. It's going to take us an insane amount of time to actually get this up to a possible success chance, but we can do it. Gee, can we hire spies at his court as well? Just people who really don't like him. Yes, I can. I can recruit one as a spy. Perfect. His personal physician can now be a spy for me. Same for his caravan master and, his captain. Yep, this is great. We're just going to keep recruiting every single courtier in the Night King's camp. Wow, this is going well. Seems I'm murdering the man. Where is he currently? Okay, he's wandering off over here doing a siege. Would it be good war score if I managed to successfully besiege his capital? I can literally summon my army out of thin air because that's just the way the game works when you're playing as an unlanded adventurer. So I can teleport behind him, besiege his capital near instantly, like so. There we go. Oh, what's this? Well, we've actually been given an offer by the Night King. He wants us to be the Lord of the High Chiefdom of Breakwater. He'll give us all of the land and its vassals, provided I become his vassal, and that's his gift. Unfortunately for him, I'm going to decline that offer and continue being a lunatic. All right, the Night King is immediately running back to his capital because of all of the damage we've done, which is very good. And before he can even get to us, what are we going to do? I think we'll disband our men. Yeah, we'll disband our army, stand them down. They'll immediately return back here. And now if the Night King comes over to siege back his capital, eventually he'll get bored and walk away and we can do it again. Such is the power of the horrifically overpowered overpowered, unlanded adventurers. And here we have it. It's looking like we're now at our maximum opportunity for trying to assassinate the Night King. We've been plotting this for a very long time now. He's been alive for 16 years, and we're going to assassinate him. So I've sent one of the others in to assassinate, and it worked. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We placeholder invalidated text. So be it. It's perfect. The dream of spring has begun. The others were driven back to whatever dark corner of the world that spawned them, and we are free of their icy shadow. Yes, the alliances of the Great War will surely last. Well, they weren't really lasting whilst the war was happening, but there it is. The Night King has died under mysterious circumstances, and with that, all of the others have died simultaneously, freeing the world. Of course, Reanu keeps hand in this entire affair of actually assassinating him is never going to be discovered or revealed, but we did it. We stopped this man, and my goodness we had to, because he's already slain 467 people. He is wild. Right, so where do we stand at the end of the story? Well, Reanu Keeves is nearly 50 years old and completely blind. The North is still somehow ruled by Eddard Stark. The Westerlands by Jaime Lannister. The Iron Islands are independent. The Reach is ruled by this guy called Barris. The Stormlands by Stefan Baratheon. And the Iron Throne is of course held by Stannis the Manus, who is currently losing against a dissolution war. Yes, it is very much looking like the entirety of the Seven Kingdoms are going to become independent and the world will start anew. We might not be able to see the world we saved anymore, but my goodness, it feels good to have made it. Anyway, as always, a massive thank you to each and every one of our amazing YouTube channel members and patrons for funding this nonsense. You're all absolutely fantastic. I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day, and goodbye for now.